Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line, talking about the mayor's race and the News Channel 5 poll. We have Berje Yacoubian with us, who put the poll together from Yacoubian Research. Pat Nolan, our political analyst, also with us. Take a couple of calls, then we'll talk about who watched this debate, the Channel 5 debate. Taylor. Hello, Taylor.
Good evening, Ben, and your guest. I watched the debate you folks aired a week or so ago. I watched the one tonight, and I voted in the poll. I'm surprised all the information the good pollster got out of those 6 or 7 questions I answered in that poll. But at any rate, I want to take issue with Pat's statement, not that he knew for sure, but Howard Gentry had promised Megan Berry shortly after the election that he would endorse her. He didn't want to be part of the 100 group that endorsed her. He wanted it to be more alone in his and get the attention of him endorsing her. So that's that part. As far as tonight's debate on Fox, it was a snooze fest. I don't know. A third of their questions, at least, were exactly the same points that you folks had brought up. And I thought, my gosh, why bring the same? And most of them were some of the more boring questions. But I think this race has not been dirty yet, near as much as it might ought to be. I am a Fox supporter, and anything anybody wants to bring up about husband Bruce Berry, the more the better.
You're okay with that?
No.
Okay, and Taylor, you also think that Howard Gentry was always going to endorse?
Well, he did a good job of hiding it until he actually did it. I mean, I will not dispute what he may know more information about it than I do, but Mr. Gentry had several opportunities to say what he wanted to do after the election with reporters, and he was very cagey one way, then would say nothing. Maybe not quite as cagey as Bill Freeman, who said, well, I plan to endorse one candidate, and then Megan Berry, then I changed my mind. But perhaps that's the case, but nevertheless, the way he did it and the drama he did it with really, I thought, packed an effective counterpunch to some of the things that Fox was airing in the black community. And we'll see how effective it is come Election Day. I also want to see what the Berry campaign is going to do with that endorsement. The endorsement by itself doesn't mean anything. It's like yeast and bread. If you don't work it, it doesn't help a whole lot.
It's just one vote. And it's interesting to look at who is watching these debates. So we had our debate, it was a week ago. We had another debate tonight. And so what did you gather? Who is watching?
Well, when we asked them, which station do you watch in early evening news, meaning 4 to 7 p.m., of those who had watched the debate, naturally 48% had watched News Channel 5 because the poll was affixed to your website. But what's interesting is that half of them do not even watch your news channel for news, early evening news, yet they watched the debate. So there was a brand new audience. In fact, a fifth of them had regularly watched the other channel, your competitor, News Channel 4. So the same thing for the 9 o'clock news. What's interesting is that 1/3 do not even watch regular evening or late evening news, and 20% of them don't watch news, period. Yet this debate, this mayor's race is so tight, so interesting that they tuned in and watched the News Channel 5 debate in order to respond to the survey. So it clearly brought in new watchers, new TV watchers who don't normally watch TV news. A great deal of interest. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Marcia. Hello, Marcia.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to make 2 quick comments. Three. One is I'm 70 and I'm one of these older people who always votes. The real 2 comments are, first off, on the question of religion. At my age, I realized that a person can be, and I was an atheist who became a Christian right before my 30th birthday. I realized that a person does not have to be a Christian or practice any religion and can be agnostic or atheist and still be of a caliber to hold public office, and have the moral character. So for me, religion is a non-starter. The second thing is I have become so disgusted with the tone of national elections and now our mayoral race, with the negativity and the backbiting and the slyness and not so sly, that I find that even though I'm going to vote on the council, I cannot vote for either candidate. I am a Republican. People would say I'm probably on the moderate to liberal on most issues. When I registered to vote, when I registered to be 21, and there were only 4,000 Republicans in Louisiana at the time. But I don't vote the party. I vote the issues that I care for and the people.
So you're saying you're so turned off by what you've seen, you're not going to vote in the race? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry?
You're saying you're not going to vote in the race because you're so turned off by the negative act?
I can't find myself voting for either candidate.
All right, now we're about to run out of time. I think that's an amazing point. What do you think about that?
Well, we talked about that earlier, and we talked about it. Was that one of the reasons tonight that the candidates kind of apparently backed off a little bit, didn't rebut each other, didn't get ugly with each other or anything? I think it's always a problem going down late because, look, for different reasons and maybe at different levels of intensity, these races always get more heated and contested when it gets down to one-on-one. The elbows always get sharper. But you have to be careful. There can be backlash. People do pay attention to that. They do react viscerally to what candidates do, and it's something they have to watch regardless. And I think in this case, given the way things have escalated, particularly over the last week to 10 days, a lot of it starting kind of that night with that debate, but then really escalating with all the religion stuff and the Pledge of Allegiance that's coming up now. Like I say, I mean, people are really getting more and more intense. It's a very contested race on a lot of different issues, so they have to watch it.
So, Berje, you hear that, and you know kind of where the race is, at least where it was last week. What do you think we're going to see from the candidates going forward now?
Well, David Fox has the challenge of turning out male voters that are older, that are in the Southwest and Southeast, because that's where he's running the strongest. Now, if the negative gets too harsh, the way this lady is behaving, there will be a lot of people saying, I can't take this anymore, I can't wait till it's over, they'll stay home. And she's got the challenge. We haven't talked about the gender gap. Last Wednesday, we kind of inferred that there is a gender gap. Well, there's a one-way gender gap. Megan Barry and David Fox are basically tied with a male vote. And males make up roughly 43 to 45% of voters on election day. Now she's ahead. She's got a 14-point lead among females. So, and they make up roughly 53 to 55 to 56%, depending on how many turn out. So she's definitely got an advantage in making sure that females go out and vote for her.
Okay, we have to take a break. We will come back, wrap everything up right after this.